Well, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. This is Michelle Baeza. I'm here with my friends Jermaine Warfield and Brandon Beebe, and we're here to talk some real estate and a little bit about our history and how we got into it and what we're working on and how we might be able to help others and what we're looking for. So, Brandon, why don't I start off with you? Can you just tell me a little bit about
Yeah,
yourself
sure.
and how you got into this and maybe what is the avatar that you most identify with?
Um, uh, Probably an avatar, I would say a buyer, as much as we, all want to, be the guy making the calls and everything. I think that's a hope, but I know deep down it's just not not my personality. So yeah, but ultimately for me, I have a decent job, enjoy what I do for the most part. But at the same time, not building generational wealth. And, I have kids that are going to be going to college before long and they're going to need cars. And it's like, yeah, I could do all that, but I don't want to go in debt. It's like, how can I get out of that? And I just started, thinking of different avenues of what to do. And yeah, and just landed on Pace Morby's site and said this is it, and dove full in, dove all in, and yeah, decided real estate's definitely the route we need to take.
I feel the same way. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is it. I found it. I'm in.
Yeah,
That's
for sure,
amazing.
for sure.
So,
Yeah,
what about your job? You said that you have a job that you like. Let's tell us a little bit about that. Give us some insight into you and who you are as a person.
sure, sure. Well, I'm currently in the oil and gas industry, on mainly the natural gas side. And yeah, I um, basically try to increase production from a chemical standpoint. Yeah, so I spend half of my time in the lab with a lab coat and glasses on, and then the other half out in the field, collecting samples that have came from downhole, Earth's surface that maybe are millions of years old, and now we're looking at it, at surface now. So that's really neat. And sometimes these samples will clog, the flow of the natural gas. And of course, the guys want them to flow at all times. So we'll come in and provide a solution that'll help get these things back to operating normally.
Excellent.
So that's it on a regular W-2 job.
And then you said you mentioned kids.
Well, that's right. That's right. Yeah, three kiddos, 12, 9, and 5. Yeah.
Nice, nicely spread out.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, yeah. How about you?
I have two kids of my own, 18-year-old girl and 17-year-old boy. And
Awesome.
yeah, homeschooled and they're both in
Yeah,
college
that's
already.
great.
So yeah.
Awesome. Very neat. Very neat.
Now you
Makes
mentioned you're
for
a
a proud
buyer.
mom.
Oh yeah, I'm proud mom. Very proud mom. And I'm sure you're a proud dad.
For sure. For sure. Thank you.
So you mentioned you're a buyer.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell
So
us a little bit about that buy
yep.
box and
Yep.
what you're looking for so we can help you?
Sure. Sure. So I think just getting started and building that nest egg of funds to be able to put down the deposit, whether it be for a hard money loan or even through the bank. I'm working a few avenues there, to build the line of credit through Prime Corporate Services on the Gator side. And then also opening up a HELOC, a home equity line of credit on my home to establish those funds. And then, once all of that is done, I think I will, be able to act and move forward. Buy boxes, you hear of all of the shiny object syndrome, and I was definitely there for a long time. I think I finally, settled in and listened to one of Pace's podcast is like, you got to decide on something, go with whatever it is. And for me, I think that's going to be fix and flip, just to get started, to get my feet wet, and yeah, go that route. So getting closer and closer all the time, but have not yet dove into my first one.
So what kind of property are you looking for? Is it single family, multifamily? And where is it? What are you looking
Sure.
for?
Yep. Single family. To get started, I would feel comfortable, more comfortable, of course, to start in my backyard, to be able to check on the home, all of that. But I don't know how long that looks like. If I'm comfortable after a year or 2 years, or 3 flips or 10 flips, to say, hey, I'm ready to expand and be able to manage it remotely. But I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm thinking purchase price probably under 150,000, and maybe a $50,000 rehab, so $200,000 all in, and yeah, just flip,
Where
go
is
from
that?
there, borrow those funds. And
You said your
I'm sorry, go ahead.
backyard. Tell everybody where your backyard is.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
true. So I'm in the northwest corner of Louisiana. It's called Bossier City, is the area. So yeah, we're pretty close to Texas and also Arkansas. They call this area the Arklatex, for
The
Arkansas,
Arclitex.
Louisiana, Texas.
I
Yeah,
heard that.
we listen to the local news, and whenever we hear the local news, we get some of Texas news, we get some of Arkansas news, and some of Louisiana news. So it's pretty neat.
That's nice. You mentioned the HELOC. I actually just did that as well, trying to get some
Awesome.
additional funds for doing some gator lending, right? So, and that's been really
Yeah.
helpful. It's been able to, it's allowed me to get started pretty quickly while I'm still building my
Awesome.
credit. Yeah, definitely think that's a
Very
good
neat.
idea. And that'll be helpful for you. But we always have access to private lenders should you need that as well when you find the right property.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's making those connections, who to use, who to go. That would definitely be a goal of mine, to make those private money lending connections.
Okay, so are you ready to make those connections and get that fix and flip started now, or are you waiting for your credit and the HELOC to go through?
I've got a portion. It's kind of hard to explain. I already have a HELOC. However, my banker, didn't allow me the full sum of what I really would have been allowed. So we're kind of reactivating that again. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I should have 50,000 easy to pull from. So we're trying to get to that mark, and go from there. So I currently have like 12,000 that I can lend on as of today, and yeah, would like to grow that by initiating this additional HELOC.
And what about JVing with someone who has that money so that you could get started right away? Is that something you're interested in? Should anyone want to reach out?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Excellent. And is there anything else that you want to share with anyone about what you can offer, or anything else that you're looking for?
Yeah, to offer, upcoming soon, and I say soon, within probably the next 3 to 4 weeks, be able to help offer on Gator funding as you are. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that dollar amount looks like, but hopefully, around the $50,000 mark would be neat. And yeah, I mean, I like underwriting. I can look at deals and in surrounding areas. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on that. So yeah, if anybody needs help with that, I'd love to help. And yeah, just be another connection and asset to anybody that's in need.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And Jermaine, how about you? Let's hear about you. I want insight into the man, the myth, the legend.
All right, you got the questions ready?
I do have the questions ready, but first I want to hear about you. Tell me about you and your history. How did you get into real estate and what avatar do you resonate with?
So for the people that don't know me, about me and my avatar is that my background before getting into real estate was customer service. I worked in a call center for a health company, handling inquiries and handling prescriptions, and being able to help customers get their prescriptions filled and just answering questions about their overall health plan,
Mhm.
um, and also graphic design. And I always wanted to get into real estate, and real estate was just the next thing for me. And so I started right before COVID hit. I started up through a mentorship with Real Empire, and they were one of the first companies that I saw that was teaching real estate how to do it virtually, how to virtually wholesale. And so that's how I got started. And I really didn't gain any momentum until after 3 months of consistency. And my first 3 months, I was just trying to figure things out, trying to get a budget together so I could be able to do marketing. And because I think that's where we start is most of us start with marketing, whether you're pulling lists and you're text blasting, you're cold calling, you're using a dialer and all the things. So that's pretty much how I got started. And I ran into, I stumbled across Pace Morby's like 16 to 24-hour lives.
Right.
And I believed in what he was teaching. And more importantly, I believed that I would show up and do the work. Because you can have all the things, but if you don't show up to do any of the work, then it may not happen like you want it to happen. So I basically I got on the phone with the recruiter, and I told the recruiter basically I'm gonna go all in. Call me back in 2 weeks. I want to do this. Call me back in 2 weeks. I'm getting ready to resign from my job just on that phone call. So they called me back, and then I started up, and I was already doing some lead generation. I hadn't got my first deal yet, but I had a deal that was locked up in escrow. I didn't know if it was going to close or not. But the thing that I did know is that I was leaving corporate America, and I was going to do that by all ethical means. And so what I started doing was I started placing like roadblocks in front of me, kind of, or obstacles in front of me to force me to do things like to do uncomfortable things.
To get out of
Cause
your comfort zone.
yeah, cause like when the clock is ticking, like things start to change.
Right. Yeah, you just quit your job. You didn't have any money.
Yeah, so it's like we have to be operating from a different like mindset,
Yeah.
because I mean I had to have a paradigm shifts, basically paradigm and identity shifts. I couldn't be the same person that I was when I was going to my job. I couldn't be that same person because it required a different person from me. So I had to educate myself, and I had to go out, and I had to put in the work. And so that's kind of how I started off, and that's pretty much it for that one.
Well, during that shift, what was one of like the main lessons that you think would be helpful for others to help them go through that shift that's needed, that mindset shift?
I think it's that like you have to know yourself and know who you are, and believe in yourself, trust the process. If you do, if you do it for long enough, then it's going to happen for you. You just got to go in with the mindset that you're going to do whatever it takes to get it done. If it takes 6 months to get a deal, if it takes a year to get the first deal, I know, like, I've heard people say, like, they thought that wholesaling real estate was a scam and all these different things. I never thought that wholesaling real estate was a scam, because reality is, in business, contracts have been sold in all types of industry. So it was no different for me when I thought about real estate. But when I got my first deal, that basically gave me the proof of concept and gave me more confidence to keep going.
How long did that take you to get that first deal?
So it took me 3 months of actually being consistent
3 months.
and following the process and just sticking to a budget. Like, I think you have to stick to a budget. Like, if you want to be direct to seller, you have to say, okay, this is how much I can commit to spending every month in order for me to be direct to seller. Whatever dollar amount that is, whatever you can start, wherever you can start at, $300, $400, $500, $1,000, and spend that money consistently for the next 6 months or 6 months to a year. And it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen for you.
And that money is spent in marketing, is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it could be pulling data, having subscriptions for like pre-foreclosure data, and being able to gather that data, being able to skip trace, door knocking, text blasting, dialers to cold call. There's a lot of different ways for marketing.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the important things. And if you don't have the budget for marketing, then I think being able to be the closer, which that's my avatar that I think I missed. But
yeah, I was going to ask you. So acquisitions and closing, those are your sweet spots, right? What you seem to have a lot of passion around.
my avatar is direct to seller, direct to agent, closer, leader, joint venture partner, helper, and creative buyer.
Amazing. Full faceted, like a Renaissance man, right? So we have someone who's finding deals and we have someone who's buying deals on this call. So why are you two not working together?
We're working together already.
I think you need to help him find something to flip in Louisiana. Huh? So
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're already teamed up. It won't be long.
that's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And Jermaine, if people wanted to partner with you, what are you looking for in those acquisitions? You said direct to seller, but like what size properties and where are you looking?
I will joint venture on any deal in any like major city, as long as it's not like there's some buying activity going on, like in any metro, any big city. I want to stay away from the rural areas, but I primarily work in Texas market, and Ohio market,
Okay.
and get a little bit in Florida, and but I think we're holding off on Florida right now and just focusing for lead generation on primarily the Texas market for now. But if somebody has a deal, I can help them in any big city that has some traction, where the deal can be sold, or it can be bought.
Okay. And then, so part of this podcast is to gain new friends and network and grow relationships within the community and also outside of it. We're posting on YouTube, right? So is there anything that you would like to share, either of you, to people who might not be in the community on, anything about yourself and why they might want to come and reach out to you and work with you? Both of you?
Why someone would want to work with me?
Someone outside of the PACE community, someone that doesn't know anything about real estate and they're just getting started. Maybe they see this and they say, hey, you know what? I'm going to call that guy because he might be able to teach me something or might be able to, work with me.
Yeah, I would say the reason why they would want to call me is because I've closed multiple deals, and I can walk them through the transactions and the roadblocks. Like if they have a seller, they're just getting started, they don't know what to say to the seller. I hop on the phone with them. I help them close the seller. I can get the contract form. I can get it in escrow. I can joint venture with them. So, and those are some of the things I can do. I can help them with underwriting the deal, making sure the deal makes sense, and just determining the acquisition strategy. What would be a good acquisition strategy for the deal? What would be a good exit strategy based on the seller's needs?
That's a lot. Very helpful. See, somebody's going to be super inspired to reach out to you because you have so much to offer and so much to help with. And Brandon, you also have a lot to help with. And I think it would be very exciting for someone to be able to learn along with you on that fix and flip. Myself, I've always been interested in fix and flip too, but I've always been a little bit afraid of it because I'm like, I don't know all the contractors. I don't know the first thing about getting all that done, right? It's a big thing to undertake. It's not like a wholesale deal where you're just flipping it around. You're actually, renovating a property. Have you done that before, or is it just something you're passionate about?
Yeah, not yet. Just I think I finally kind of narrowed my path on which way to go with the sub 2 and Gator community, and yes, let me get my feet wet and get started there. But I've got to agree with Jermaine. He's a great guy, great leader, and has so many resources. So yeah, I think everybody that hears this, reach out to him. He's a great one. He'll help anybody.
Yes. Well, and you also said
indeed.
that you can do some underwriting, right, and help him find some deals.
Yeah, I feel confident that I enjoy getting on the computer and looking at those opportunities, and I think I've got a good feel about what would be a good ARV for particular areas, looking at the house that's in need or the one that's about to be purchased in comparison to other like properties, whether it be the square footage or the year, make sure it's in a close area, within in a close time frame. So yeah, I think I can do well in that area.
Amazing. Thank you both so much for your time today.
Glad to help.
I've learned a lot, and I know who I'm calling. And what was it? Is it tech? What was the triangle called? Tex? I forget.
Oh, Arclatex.
Arclatex. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Louisiana,
California
Texas.
here.
Yeah,
we don't know that stuff, So,
oh yeah,
but I like that. That's a great area, So.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you guys for being a part of it today, and we'll stay in touch and be working together very soon.
All right, Michelle.
Sounds great.
All right, Brandon. Thanks everybody for coming out.
Okay.